If you're planning a trip to Hanoi and searching for the best places to visit, then you're at the right place. Because today we will be talking about the top 15 places to visit in Hanoi. Not just that, we will also be sharing some useful tips and tricks throughout the video, so make sure to watch the entire video without skipping it. I promise this will be the best recommendation of places to visit in Hanoi on the internet. Hey guys, welcome back to Secret Cubes and this is Sagar. Hanoi is not just the capital of Vietnam, it's the heart and soul of the country. Now, planning a trip to Vietnam can feel overwhelming, from finalizing the itinerary to booking transportation, hotels and day tours. That's where Vietnam Escape Tours come in. They are a locally owned awesome Vietnam tour company who can help you plan a seamless Vietnam experience. Whether you are looking for a complete Vietnam tour package, a customized itinerary, group tours or just the day trips, they've got you covered. Check out the first link in the description box below for the website link and the contact details. Without further ado, let's jump straight into our list of top 15 places to visit in Hanoi. Let's start our journey with the most iconic neighborhood in the city, the Old Quarter. This is where the city truly comes alive. Narrow streets packed with street food vendors, motorbikes zipping through the chaos, bustling markets filled with tourists, and centuries-old architecture standing side by side with trendy cafes and boutique hotels. The best way to soak in the charm of the Old Quarter is simply to wander around without any fixed plan. The Old Quarter is also the perfect base to stay in Hanoi, as most of the attractions are just a short walk away. However, there's just one thing you should know before booking your hotel here. The buildings in the Old Quarter are tightly packed, leaving very little space between them. So don't be surprised if the view from your hotel room looks something like this. Now, this next place is something you would have definitely seen on Instagram, and trust me, it's every bit as dramatic as it looks in the videos. Welcome to Hanoi Train Street. Train Street is a narrow residential street in the heart of Hanoi where an actual passenger train passes through at an incredibly close distances, sometimes just inches away from the buildings on either side. Now, as an Indian who has seen trains pass by even closer than this, you might be wondering, is it really worth the visit or is it just a hype? To be honest, it's totally a different experience and worth every second you spend here. It's not only about the train passing close by, but the entire setup, which is truly unique, not just in Hanoi, but all of Vietnam.
This was indeed crazy.
Not many people know this, but there are actually two stretches of Train Street in Hanoi. The most popular one is located near the Old Quarter on Phuong Hong Street, while the other, which is usually less crowded, is located further south on Ly Duong Street. The train passes through both the sections multiple times a day, but the schedule can change frequently. So it's always a good idea to check the latest timings on Google on the day of your visit. The train street has been commercialized for tourism, and you'll see cafes lined up along this stretch. One pro tip is to make sure that you arrive at least 30 to 45 minutes before the train timing so that you can find a good spot at one of the cafes along the alley. The restaurants on the train streets are usually quite expensive, so I suggest you order nothing more than a Vietnamese coffee or a beer as per your preference. Next on our list is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, Halong Bay. Located around 170 kilometers or about a 3-hour drive from Hanoi, Halong Bay is a UNESCO World Heritage Site famous for its breathtaking limestone islands rising from emerald green waters. The scenery is so dramatic that it almost feels like stepping into a painting. Spreading over 1,500 square kilometers, Halong Bay is home to nearly 2,000 islands and islets. You need to hop on a cruise to explore Halong Bay. There are multiple options for the cruises. Depending on how much time and budget you have, you can choose from budget-friendly day cruises to luxurious overnight cruises. I personally recommend a day cruise, as the attractions covered in the overnight tours are same as the one in the day tours. A typical day tour usually includes hotel pickup and drop-off, lunch on board, an English-speaking guide, and a scenic cruise through the stunning limestone formations of the bay. Along the way, you will visit popular attractions such as Sung Sot Cave and Tito Island. On the way back, you'll stop at Luan Cave, where you can choose between kayaking or a traditional bamboo boat ride. Now that we have seen Halong Bay, let's move to the next place on our list, popularly known as Halong Bay on land, Ninh Binh. Located just 90 kilometers from Hanoi, Ninh Binh makes for a perfect day trip destination from the capital. While Halong Bay surprises you with the limestone formations rising from the sea, Ninh Binh gives the same dramatic limestone mountains but surrounded by lush green rice fields, winding rivers and ancient pagodas. There are three main highlights in Ninh Binh. Hualu ancient capital. Hualu served as a capital of Vietnam during the 10th century. Here you can visit the temples dedicated to Vietnam's first king who unified the country after years of civil war and his successor who helped protect and strengthen the kingdom during his early years. To be honest, this may be the least exciting stop on your day trip to Ninh Binh unless you take a guided tour.
On each hand of the dragon is holding a thing. On the left hand is holding a man's beard. Can you see it?
Yeah.
A beard, not a beer. Beard.
If you're not a history buff, then the next pit stop will be the main highlight of this tour, the boat ride. One of the best experiences in Ninh Binh is undoubtedly the boat ride. Here, you board a small metal boat and gently glide along the Nong Dong River. As you drift through the calm waters, you'll pass through a peaceful valley surrounded by towering limestone mountains on either side. Along the way, the boat takes you through three natural caves carved right through the mountains, making the journey feel almost magical. What makes the experience even more special is the way the boats are rowed.
One crazy thing about this place is people usually row using their legs. You see that? Usually we have seen people rowing through their hands, but here it is a bit different.
Instead of using their hands, local rowers use their feet, a traditional technique that has been passed down through generations. Watching them do it so effortlessly is truly remarkable. There are two main places where you can enjoy the boat ride. The first and the most popular option is Trang, known for its spectacular landscape complex and scenic cave routes. The second option is Quoc. Located about 15 km away, it is famous for its beautiful rice field scenery. I chose a boat ride in Quoc and absolutely loved the experience. You can choose either option and the experience will be good. Ngoc Caves. The final stop on this day trip is Ngoc Cave, also known as Dragon Mountain. The name can be a bit misleading because you won't be actually visiting any cave. Instead, you'll be climbing to the top of the mountain.
It's 6 o'clock in the evening and now we are climbing up. Although it's just 500 steps, the steps are very steep. So I'm getting so much sweat and also there is a lot of humidity here.
There are actually two viewpoints at the top. The viewpoint on the right has fewer steps, while the one on the left is more popular because it has a stone dragon at the top and a small statue of Lady Buddha.
The left turn goes to the top one and there is one more on the right hand side. This goes to this peak which is at a little lower altitude, but I'm planning to go on this side because who doesn't like challenges?
At the base of the mountain, you will also find a beautiful lotus pond that adds to the charm of the place. It is one of the best photographed locations in Ninh Binh. Now let's head back into the city and visit one of Hanoi's oldest structures and historical landmarks, the Temple of Literature. Temple of Literature might sound like some boring museum, but in reality, it is completely different from what you would have imagined. Originally built as a temple in the 11th century, it later became home to Vietnam's first national university, making it not just a religious site but also a symbol of education and intellectual heritage in Vietnamese culture. The complex is divided into 5 courtyards, each more beautiful than the last. As you walk through the peaceful gardens, ancient buildings and traditional architecture, it's hard to believe that you are still in the middle of a bustling city like Hanoi.
So people always say don't judge a book by its cover. So the same applies to this place. This place is called Temple of Literature. When I heard the place name at first, I thought this may be some kind of a boring library or some kind of a museum. But apparently this is not. It's kind of an open air museum which apparently gives you a lot of opportunity for taking those photos or videos for your Instagram.
One of the most interesting things inside this place is the 82 stone stelaes mounted on the back of the stone turtles. Each stele bears the name of the scholar who passed the royal exams held at the university dating back as far as the 15th century. Now if you're wondering how to cover all these places, don't worry. I have documented a detailed itinerary along with loads of other useful information in my Vietnam travel guide. And the best part is, this mobile friendly guide can be accessed anytime on the go without the internet. Scan this QR code to download it or check the second link in the description box below. Now back to the next attraction on our list, Hoan Kiem Lake. Located in the heart of the city, Hoan Kiem Lake is deeply connected to Vietnam's one of the most famous legends. According to the legend, in the 15th century, Vietnamese Emperor Le Loi was struggling to fight against Chinese invaders. During this hard time, he received a mystical sword believed to be sent by divine forces. With this divine weapon in his hands, the emperor defeated the Chinese invaders. After the victory, while boating on this lake, a giant golden turtle emerged from the water and asked for the sword to be returned. The emperor happily returned the sword, and from that day onwards, the lake was known as Hoan Kiem, meaning Lake of Restored Sword. That's why you can spot the iconic turtle tower standing in the middle of the lake. On another small island sits Sun Temple. You can walk across the famous Red Bridge to visit this temple. There is an entry fee for this temple, but the temple is indeed beautiful and worth the visit. Many of Hanoi's noteworthy attractions are located around this lake. Among them, one of the most underrated experiences is the traditional water puppet show. The water puppet show is one of the most unique cultural experiences you can have in Vietnam, and Hanoi is one of the best places in the country to witness it. In this traditional art form, skilled puppeteers stand hidden behind a screen and bring the wooden puppet to life on a water stage. The show lasts for about 50 minutes and consists of several short acts depicting the scene from village life, farming traditions, mythology, and everyday cultural moments. Everything is put together in perfect synchronization with live music and singing. There are mainly two theatres in Hanoi where you can watch a water puppet show: the Thang Long Water Puppet Theatre and the Lotus Water Puppet Theatre. Both are located near Hoan Kiem Lake. We watched the show at Lotus Water Puppet Theatre, but the experience is fairly similar across both theatres. If you are not particularly interested in traditional art forms, you can consider skipping the Water Puppet Theatre, but don't skip shopping at Hanoi's famous weekend night market. Whether you are a shopaholic or not, you simply cannot miss a visit to Hanoi's weekend night market. Every weekend, the narrow streets of Hanoi transform into a colorful and bustling shopping market. The market stretches for nearly a kilometer and is lined with hundreds of large and small stalls selling everything from souvenirs, clothing, ceramics, decorative items, accessories, and delicious street food. The shops are densely packed and highly competitive, which means you have plenty of options to choose from and lots of opportunities to put your bargaining skills to test. The quality of the products is so good and the prices are way cheaper. So if you are planning a trip to Vietnam, I highly recommend keeping aside at least 4 to 5 hours for shopping. The market is open only on weekends from Friday to Sunday between 6 pm to 11 pm. In case you are not able to visit the weekend night market, then explore Dong Son Market, which is the oldest and the largest covered market in Hanoi. By the way, if you are enjoying this video so far, hit on the like button and leave a heart in the comment section below. Thanks for doing that. Now back to the video. Now let's talk about one of the most historically significant places in Hanoi, the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. When you are in Vietnam, you will constantly hear the name Ho Chi Minh. In case you don't know, Ho Chi Minh was the revolutionary leader who dedicated his entire life for the independence and unification of Vietnam. People loved him so much that they called him Uncle Ho. In short, he was the Bapa of Vietnam. The Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum is the final resting place of this national hero. Inside, you can see his preserved body displayed in a glass chamber where locals and visitors come to pay their respects. Apart from the mausoleum, the entire complex has several interesting places that give a deeper insight into the life of Ho Chi Minh. Some of the notable spots include the Presidential Palace, House number 54, the Stilt House, Ho Chi Minh Museum, and One Pillar Pagoda. In the heart of Hanoi's old quarter stands one of the city's most beautiful and unexpected surprises, St.Joseph Cathedral. The cathedral serves as a powerful reminder of Vietnam's complex colonial history. Built by the French in 1886, this neo-Gothic cathedral is modelled after Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. It features twin bell towers, pointed arches, and a large stone cross. The interior of the cathedral is equally impressive. What makes this place truly fascinating is the contrast between the grand European architecture and the vibrant Vietnamese street life unfolding around it. We have been talking so much about Hoan Kiem Lake, but apparently the largest freshwater lake in Hanoi is actually the West Lake, located 5 kilometers from the old quarter. It is so big that you need to travel 11 kilometers to make one full circle of this lake. On the shores of the West Lake sits the Quoc Pagoda. Dating back to the 6th century, it is considered one of the oldest Buddhist pagoda in Hanoi. The temple is rarely visited by tourists, and according to me, it is one of the most beautiful and quiet temples in Vietnam you should not miss. Now, no video about Hanoi would be complete without talking about the food. Here's what you need to try when you are in Vietnam. Banh mi is Vietnam's iconic sandwich and a delicious legacy of French influence. A good banh mi is crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. And depending on your diet preference, you can choose between a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian option. The best place to try banh mi is in fact Banh mi 25. I tried honey grilled chicken with cheese and honey grilled chicken with mushroom. Both were fantastic, but the mushroom option completely stole the show. Apart from Banh mi 25, you can also check out these other popular places to try banh mi. Pho is Vietnam's most iconic noodle soup, and Hanoi is considered the birthplace of the best pho in the country. A bowl of pho is simple, clear and deeply aromatic. The broth is typically served with thin rice noodles and slices of either beef or chicken. There are vegetarian versions also available, although you may need to do a little research to find them. The best place to try authentic pho is at any small local food stall in Hanoi's Old Quarter. This is a place where I tried chicken pho and totally loved it. You can't leave Vietnam without trying Vietnamese coffee. Made with rich condensed milk and strong, dark roasted coffee, it delivers a bold flavor that's both sweet and intensely satisfying. If you're looking to try something a little different, don't miss the famous coconut coffee. Surprisingly, it's very addictive. One of the best places to experience Vietnamese coffee is the Ngoc Coffee, a charming cafe located right beside Hoan Kiem Lake. What makes this place truly special is its colorful interiors, where almost every wall, table and corner is covered with handwritten sticky notes from visitors around the world. Grab a coffee, take a moment to write your own message and add it to the ever-growing collection. The next coffee on our list is probably the last thing you would ever expect to find in a cup of coffee. In fact, when I first heard about it, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to try it. I'm talking about egg coffee. Yes, egg inside the coffee. Sounds a little crazy, right? But surprisingly, it has become one of Hanoi's most iconic drinks, and trust me, it tastes far better than it sounds. The best place to try egg coffee is in fact Cafe Giang, which is believed to be the birthplace of egg coffee. That was the top 15 places to visit in Hanoi. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask it in the comment section below. Hit on the like button if this video was helpful for you. If I was able to clear all your doubts, leave a heart in the comment section as well. Scan the QR code on the left to download our Vietnam travel guide, or click on the right to watch the entire Vietnam series. See you in my next video. Until then, keep traveling.